So here it is after a week of being sick. Here is your second video on prior written notice. Last time I walked you through the 7 things that legally have to be in the prior written notice. And the comments told me exactly what I suspected. A lot of you have never actually found that document because you've been told that the paper you get before your ARD meeting is your prior written notice. It's not. The paper you get before your ARD meeting is notice of the ARD. An invitation, federal law says that only has to tell you 4 things: the purpose of the meeting, the time, the place, and who's going to be there. And in Texas, you're supposed to get it at least 5 school days before the meeting unless you agree to a shorter time frame. That's why it's mostly check boxes. Annual review, check. Review of evaluation, check. Transition, check. Box, check. Box, check. That's it. You're not agreeing to anything the district is proposing. You're not consenting to services. You're not signing your child's IEP. You are saying whether or not you'll be at the meeting. So here's your homework. Get out your ARD paperwork from your last meeting. The whole stack, not just the cover page, not just the goals, not just the accommodations. Somewhere in there is a page actually titled Prior Written Notice. In most districts, it's usually in the back after the deliberations and the signature page. It's the page that nobody reads because by the time you get there, you're exhausted and it looks just like a boilerplate, but it's not. It's the document we went through last time. Those 7 required elements written out in paragraphs. Go read element 6 one more time, the other options the ARD committee considered and the reasons those options were rejected. Now, how can they hand you that after the meeting and still call it prior? Here's the answer. Prior doesn't mean prior to the meeting. It means prior to the district actually doing all the things. In Texas, it's at least 5 school days before they act on it. So getting your prior written notice in the packet after the ARD is perfectly legal. Read that Texas rule one more time though. 5 school days, unless the parent agrees to a shorter timeline. So somewhere in that meeting at the end, you may be asked to agree to a shorter time frame so the IEP can start right away. Sign that and your 5 days go away, which means you just agreed to shorten your review window on a document you have not read yet. Now that's not illegal, but I want you to see the trade-off you're making because no one's going to explain it to you on your way out the door. 2 things to hold on to. 1, signing that waiver is a choice. You are allowed to say, I'd like my 5 days. 2, agreeing to a shorter time frame does not excuse the district from giving you prior written notice at all. Texas is clear. You get that notice whether you agreed to the change, requested it, or fought it. And here's the real reason I want you to find it. If you ever file a state complaint through TEA or a complaint with the Federal Office for Civil Rights, prior written notice is one of the strongest documents in your file, not because of what you say happened, because it's the district's own written statement of what they did and why they did it in their words at the time. You don't have to prove what somebody said in that room. They wrote it down. So look at it. Is that actually what got discussed in front of you? And if they refuse something and never sent prior written notice at all, that's a missing document in itself, and that's a violation you can put in a complaint. One honest caveat, because I don't want anybody blindsided. A procedural violation by itself is not automatically a denial of FAPE. It has to have actually gotten in the way of your child's education or your ability to participate. But in a TEA state complaint, non-compliance is non-compliance. So parents, go back to your last ARD packet, find that page, read the other options section, then come tell me in the comments whether what's written on your page actually matches what you heard in the meeting. Thanks.